bilinear transformation. Like your impulse invariant technique, bilinear transformation also used to convert a analog filter to digital filter. Okay, clear? Like your impulse invariant technique, bilinear transform also used to convert a analog filter to digital filter. Now see, for analog transformation, if you want to implement or generate an analog transfer function h of s, okay, what is the necessity? Basically, three things are necessity. The first one is one summer required. Okay, clear? Or you can say error, summer or error. This is one required, and another is one multiplier required. Okay, one multiplier is required, and what is the third thing required? Third thing required is one integrator. Okay, one integrator. Clear? Means to generate any analog transfer function. Okay, these three basic things required. Now, if you want to convert this analog transfer function to digital, means what you have to do. These three basic things required. What is that in analog? We should convert to digital. Yes and no means summer, multiplier, and this integrator. All these three things you have to convert to digital. Now there is no problem with summer and multiplier, because summer you can use in analog or digital, both are same. Multiplier also there is no problem, you can use analog or digital, not a problem. But problem is the integrated part. Okay, now what to do? If you will design a method, or if you convert this analog integrator to digital integrator, then our problem is sorted. Means we can convert this analog transfer function to digital transfer function. Okay, means say integrator means now our main task is we have to convert this analog integrator to digital. Okay, now this is integrator. The input is xat and output is yat. Then what is yat? Yat equals to integration of xat dt. Okay, clear? Means this yat equals to integration of xat dt. Now, if you want to write, how you can write this? We can write like this: yat equals to ya of n minus 1t, means some initial value. Okay, plus n minus 1t to nt. Okay, this is ya of nt. Okay, ya of nt, because I want to find that integrate in digital domain. So what to do? Simple replace t by nt. Okay, or I will write again, no problem. Just see this yat equals to integration of xat dt. Okay, now when you want to convert to digital domain, you all people know that just you can put t equals to nt, where t is the sampling period. So I can write like this: this ya of nt, okay, equals to some initial value like ya of n minus 1t. Let this is the initial value. Okay, plus it is n minus 1t to up to nt, it will go nt. Okay, then this is your xa of t dt. Okay, now if you want to convert this integration, this is initial value. Okay, this ya n minus 1t is the initial value of ya nt. Now if you want to find or if you want to convert this part, this was the second part, into digital domain, so what to do? You have to take approximation. Okay, how to take approximation? The approximation will to take by using trapezoidal rule. By using trapezoidal rule. Okay, now how you can write then? Then you can write like this: ya nt. Now instead of exact, I am taking some approximation, because this I will approximate by using trapezoidal rule. Is ya n minus 1t. Okay, plus then this is your how to give this approximation by using trapezoidal rule means average of the signal means like this average of xa of nt plus xa of n minus 1 t. Okay, this average whole multiply with the sampling period, the small value t. Okay, so in this way, this is the trapezoidal rule. It is fixed. Okay, by using this trapezoidal rule, we can convert this integration, this is the analog integration, into digital domain. Okay, how? Just I say it is very simple. Just take average of the value xa and t, highest value, and plus xa n minus 1 t, this lowest value by 2, this is the average of two values, multiply with the sampling period t. This is the process. Now means how I can write? I can write like this ya of nt now equals to ya of n minus 1 t plus this is your t by 2 xa of n minus 1 t plus xa of nt. Okay, clear? Now how we can write? We can write like this ya of nt means what the meaning? Meaning is it is a y of n. Yes or not? You all people know how to convert analog to discrete. You all people know that x of n equals to x of t for t equals to nt. Yes or not? That is x of n equal to x of n multiply t. If you want to confuse, I will put a for analog. So xa nt. If you replace t by nt, you get a discrete domain signal. As this ya nt, this is y of n. So this is obviously y of n minus 1 plus t by 2. We can write this is your x of n minus 1. Similarly, this is your x of n. Okay. So what you got? It is y of n minus y of n minus 1 equals to t by 2. It is x of n plus x of n minus 1. It's very simple. Okay, now you got this difference equation. There is no doubt. Then what to do? If you want to find the transfer function, simple. What to do? Take Z transform both sides. Okay, simple. Take Z transform both sides. Then what will get? Y of Z minus Z inverse Y of Z equals to t by 2 x of Z plus Z inverse x of Z. Okay, means what will get? It's very simple. It is y of Z. If you take common, it is 1 minus Z inverse equals to t by 2. If you take common x of Z, it is 1 plus Z inverse. Now, if you want to write the transfer function, that is your y of Z by x of Z, then what will you get? Y of Z by x of Z means take this x of Z left hand side, then it is t by 2. This is your 1 plus Z inverse divided by 1 minus Z inverse. Okay, so this is your h of Z. Clear? We got this is your h of Z. H of Z equals to t by 2 1 plus Z inverse by 1 minus Z inverse. Okay, it's very simple. Now again I'm writing in separate places so that people get it. So this is your h of Z. You got t by 2 1 plus Z inverse divided by 1 minus Z inverse. Okay, now let this is equation 1. Okay, just we got this from your from this derivation. Okay, now but this is what we did. We started with some integrator. Yes or not? We started with some integrator. Okay, and finally we reach the transfer function in digital domain, that is t by 2 1 plus Z inverse by 1 minus Z inverse. Okay, but we started with integrator. Yes or not? Analog integrator. Now same thing. If I take this analog integrator y of t equals to integration of x of t dt. If you take Laplace transform both sides, then what will get? It is yas equals to 1 by s x of s. Okay, if you take Laplace transform both sides. then this XAS. Okay, that is what you got, YAS divided by XAS equals to 1 by S. Then what is this YAS by X of S? This is the transfer function in the analog domain. H of S equals to 1 by S. Okay, let this is equation 2. What you got? The transfer function in digital domain you got to 1 for an integrated. Same you get transfer function you got here 1 by S in the analog domain. So what I will do now, I want to do mapping. I want to do mapping means a simple. I will compare 1 and 2. If you compare 1 and 2, then if you do mapping, then I can write like this. Finally, how I can write? I will equal this both transfer function because both are belong to same integrator. Then I can write like this: 1 by S equals to t by 2 1 plus z inverse divided by 1 minus z inverse. Okay, or I can write, okay, correct, yes or not? 1 by s equals to t by 2 1 plus z inverse by 1 minus z inverse. Or what I can write? I can write s equals to, it's a 2 by t 1 minus z inverse divided by 1 plus z inverse. Okay, so I can write like this: s equals to 2 by t 1 minus z inverse by 1 plus z inverse. Means in the bilinear transformation. Okay, in this bilinear transformation, simple, your h of z equals to h of s, just replace s equals to 2 by t 1 minus z inverse by 1 plus z inverse. Okay, then we will get. Now question may arise in your mind: why the name is bilinear transformation? Transformation people understand, yes or not? But what is the meaning of bilinear? The main meaning of bilinear is, see, if you see the numerator, it is a what? The numerator is it is 1 minus z inverse. This is what? Linear polynomial. And if you see the denominator 1 plus z inverse, this is also linear polynomial. Now, both numerator and denominator is a linear polynomial. Means when you are doing this transformation, it is a linear polynomial by linear polynomial, two polynomial. Because of that, it is a bilinear. Okay, bilinear because both it is a reciprocal of a linear polynomial to linear polynomial, bilinear. And this transformation used to transform the analog to digital. Okay, now I hope you people understand why the name is bilinear transformation. Yes or not? BLT, bilinear transformation. Clear? Yes or not, all of you? Okay, yes or not? Section C and D, understand why the name is bilinear transformation? Yes or not? Section C and D.
Yes, sir.
Okay, it's very simple. The name is a bilinear transformation. Okay, clear. Now, so simple, it is very simple. You got that h of z equals to h of s, simple, replace s by this 2 by t 1 minus z inverse by 1 plus z inverse. Then just you will get a digital filter from the analog filter. Now, this is okay, but we can check the stability condition for this. Like your IIT, means impulse invariant technique, we have to check the stability condition. Stability condition means when you are mapping S domain to Z domain, it must satisfy all the three conditions. Yes or not? What we did? Clear? Now this is what you got. S equals to, you got 2 by t. It is 1 minus z inverse by 1 plus z inverse. If you do simplify, then what will you get? Ts by 2 equals to 1 minus z inverse by 1 plus z inverse, or simply you can write this is your z minus 1 by z plus 1. Then do the cross multiplication. What will you get? Ts by 2 plus Ts by 2 multiply z equals to Okay, equals to your z minus 1, simple cross multiplication. Okay, this is by 1, so this part multiply this part equals to this part multiply this part. Okay, so what you got, then it is uh, how we can write it. Just take this one left hand side, this ts by 2 plus 1, and take this part right hand side, z minus ts by 2 z, take common z, it is 1 minus ts by 2. Okay, then what you got here, z equals to 1 plus ts by 2 divided by 1 minus ts by 2. Okay, now what is s? S equals to sigma plus j omega. Just replace it. Then what will get? Z equals to 1 plus, if you replace sigma t by 2 plus j omega t by 2. Same, we replace here 1 minus sigma t by 2 minus j omega t by 2. Okay, now what is z magnitude? If you take z magnitude, you will get square root of 1 plus sigma t2 t by 2 square plus omega t by 2 whole square divided by root over 1 minus sigma t by 2 whole square plus omega t by 2 whole square. Okay, it's very simple. A plus jb magnitude equals to root over a square plus b square. Okay, now this is your mod z. Now we can check our all the three cases. If now what is our cases for mapping? If sigma less than 0 means the poles lie left hand side of the s plane. Now you just put sigma less than 0 some negative value, then what will happen? Obviously, if you put negative here and this is negative means this become positive, then what will get? We'll get that numerator is less than that of denominator. Yes or not? Because now this is minus, this is plus. Then obviously this denominator part is greater than that of numerator part. So, so what will happen? Numerator less than denominator means then what is the value of mod z? Mod z is less than 1. Yes or not? Agree? So means if sigma less than 0, then we are getting mod z equals to, sorry, mod z less than 1. Means the first condition satisfied. Sigma less than 0 means poles lie left hand side of S plane, and mod z less than 1 means poles lie inside the unit circle. So first condition is satisfied. Okay, this is the case 1. If you take case 2, if sigma equals to 0, then what will happen? If you put sigma equals to 0, then obviously this part will eliminate and this part also will eliminate. Then numerator equals to denominator. Yes or not? Numerator equals to denominator. Then what is the value of mod z? Mod z equals to 1. Now again, it is satisfied. Yes or not? Sigma equals to 0 means it is j omega axis. Poles lie on the j omega axis, and mod z equals to 1 means it is a surface of the unit circle or simple unit circle. Okay, so means you can say that marginal stability in the analog domain satisfy the marginal stability in digital domain, or you can say that poles on the j omega axis maps to poles on the surface of the unit circle. Okay, so second condition also satisfied. Clear? Now come to third condition, the last condition. Last condition means if sigma greater than 0, then what will happen? If sigma greater than 0 means obviously the numerator part become greater than of denominator part. Yes or not? This numerator part become greater than of denominator part, because this forget about this minus. This is over for first case. Now this is the original equation, 1 plus sigma t by 2 whole square. This is 1 minus sigma t by 2 whole square. Now sigma is greater than 0 means positive value, then obviously this numerator part is high compared to denominator part. Then what are the meaning? Meaning is mod z is greater than 1. Okay, so again the third condition also satisfied. Means if sigma greater than 0, that is the poles lie right hand side of the S plane is mapping to poles lie outside of the unit circle. So all the three condition it is satisfied. Okay, all the three stability condition it is satisfied. So what comment I can say? I can comment that the mapping, what we did is S equals to 2 by T 1 minus Z inverse by 1 plus Z inverse. This mapping is a stable mapping or proper mapping, or you can say one-to-one proper mapping. Okay, so it is overcome the problem of IIT. IIT is it is a many to one, but this is one-to-one mapping. Okay, so this mapping is a proper mapping, we can say, and it's one-to-one mapping. Okay, so fine, it is very important because it's satisfying all the three conditions. Whenever you will do mapping, you have to satisfy these conditions, sir. Okay, means all the stability condition you must satisfy. If all the stability condition is not satisfied, then it is a improper mapping. Means you cannot consider that mapping. But here, it's all the three conditions are satisfying. Okay, means stability condition of analog satisfying to stability condition of a digital. So you can say it is proper one-to-one mapping. Means like this. Already I shown to people. Again, I will show you. Simple it is sigma. This is j omega axis, and this is a real part of z, and j imaginary part of z. Then what you observe that okay, poles lie left hand side. Okay, it is inside the unit circle, and you observe that poles lie on the j omega axis. It is mapping to more z equals to 1. I'm using different color so that the people will understand more better. And poles lie right hand side of the j omega axis is mapping to outside of the unit circle. Okay, it is very simple. So our mapping is proper mapping, and it's one-to-one mapping. So we got S equals to 2 by T 1 minus Z inverse by 1 plus Z inverse. Okay, so this is it's very simple. Now to convert a analog transfer function to digital, simple. H of Z equals to H of S for S equals to this is 2 by T 1 minus Z inverse by 1 plus Z inverse. This is one-to-one mapping. One-to-one mapping. One-to-one mapping means one pole in the analog domain maps to one pole only in the digital domain. One-to-one stable mapping, you can say. Okay, because it is satisfying all the stable condition. Clear, all of you? Yes or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it's very simple. Okay, now but some disadvantages is there that we will see, but slowly we'll discuss one thing. Now see, when we take S equals to 2 by T 1 minus Z inverse by 1 plus Z inverse. Okay, now Z equals to e to power j omega, you all people know. And what is S? S equals to j omega, that part you people know. Now replace S equals to j omega equals to 2 by T. This is 1 minus e to power minus j omega divided by 1 plus e to power minus j omega. That is 2 by T. E to power minus j omega by 2, you take common. What will get? E to power j omega by 2 minus e to power minus j omega by 2. Similarly, you take common e to power minus j omega 2 in denominator. What will you get? E to power j omega by 2 plus e to power minus j omega by 2. Now this e to power minus j omega by 2, this is e to power minus j omega by 2, it will cancel each other. So what will get? J omega equals to 2 by T multiply, this will cancel, no doubt, this 2 cancel. Then what is the value of this? E to power j theta minus e to power minus j theta. Yes, what is this value? It is e to power j theta minus e to power minus j theta. What is the value? It is a
Sir, 2j sin theta.
good 2j sin theta. Similarly, it was j theta plus it was minus j theta. What is the value?
2 cos theta.
2 cos theta, because theta is omega by 2. Now again 2 will cancel. Then what will get? J 2 by t. Okay, sin by cos means it is 10 omega by 2. So finally what you got? You got omega, capital omega equals to 2 by t 10 of small omega by 2. You should not confuse capital omega for analog domain and this small omega for digital domain. Okay, now we got what? Omega equals to this capital omega means analog domain equals to 2 by t 10 omega by 2. Okay, clear all of you? Yes or not?
Yes, sir.
Now see, if I just discuss little more, then how I can comment. See, let this is your S plane and let this is your Z plane. Now see, if you see this equation, okay, now when, okay, I will do in the next phase. So that S equals to 2 by t 10 of, sorry, it's not as a capital omega. Capital omega equals 2 by t 10 of small omega by 2. Okay, now see, if omega equals to 0, what is capital omega? It is a 0, yes or not? Huh? And when omega equals to pi, then what is capital omega? It's positive value, negative value. It is a omega equals to pi means it is 10 pi by 2. 10 pi by 2 means it is infinity. Yes or not? Huh? So means try to understand my point. My point is you all people know that. See, I will show you here. Okay, this is the S plane. This is the Z plane. Okay, now you all people know that if you see the coordinate system 0, it's a 90, 180, 270, this is 360. If you see the coordinate system, then in the first coordinate all positive, yes or not? Sine, cos, tan, cot, cosec, sec, everything is positive. In second, what is positive? Sine and cosec is positive. Okay, in case of third, what is the positive? Tan, cot positive, rest is negative. And if you see the fourth quadrant, it is a cos and sec is positive. Okay, now see, here omega equals 0 means tan 0 and omega equals to pi means 10 pi by 2. So it means what is the limit for omega? Okay, I will write here. Okay, when omega is 0 to pi, omega is 0 to pi means it is 10 of omega by 2, that is 10 0 to 10 pi by 2 means 0 to pi by 2 means 0 to 90. So in this 0 to 90 all is positive, yes or not? Means 10 function is positive or negative? Huh? 10 function is positive or negative? When omega is 0 to pi, since it is a 10 of omega by 2, that is what? It starts from 10 0 and it will end with the 10 pi by 2. Means the limit is 0 to pi by 2, means 0 to 90. So 0 to 90 all is positive, means 10 is positive or negative?
Positive, sir.
Positive, it's very simple. If 10 is positive means what I can comment? Omega is positive or negative? It's positive. So we can say that when omega, small omega is ranging from 0 to pi, this capital omega is greater than 0. Yes or not? Now, same way, if you take let omega equals to pi to 2 pi, then what will happen? Omega to pi to 2 pi means say it is 10 of pi by 2 to 10 of pi. So pi by 2 to pi means which quadrant? Second quadrant or not? Yes or not? When omega equals
Yes,
to
sir.
pi, then
Second
it is pi by 2. When omega is 2 pi, it is 2 pi by 2 means pi. Yes or not? Because it is 10 omega by 2. Then omega is pi. It is a 10 of pi by 2. Forget about this value, so I'm not worried about that. And omega equals to 2 pi. It is 10 of 2 pi by 2. That is 10 pi. The second quadrant, pi by 2 to pi. The second quadrant, which one is positive? Sine and cosec. Then what about 10? It's positive or negative?
Negative, sir.
It's negative. When 10 is negative, then what you can comment on capital omega? Is positive or negative?
Negative.
So omega is negative. So it means my point is here, see, it's very simple. Now omega greater than 0 is matched with small omega 0 to pi. Means omega greater than 0 means this person, na? Positive person. Okay. Capital omega, this positive person is capital omega greater than 0. And 0 to pi, this is omega na for z domain. 0 to pi means this point to this point is 0 to pi, yes or not? Is 0 to pi. We can say that this capital omega greater than 0 matched with the upper half circle. Okay, agree? Similarly, when omega is less than 0, when omega is less than 0 means the lower part. Okay, this is your omega less than 0. This omega is less than 0. It will map where small omega is pi to 2 pi. So this is your pi. This is your 2 pi. Okay, this is your pi to 2 pi. Okay, means this capital omega less than 0 match with the lower half circle. Agree now? Yes or not?
Yes, sir.
This is simple observation from mathematics. Okay, it's a very simple observation. This capital omega greater than 0 matches with the upper half circle, and this capital omega less than 0 matches with the lower half circle. This is complete mode that equals to 1. Okay, clear? Okay, this is just one observation, nothing else. Now, I hope you all people understand. Now, okay. Now again, I will use this equation so that we'll discuss one more observation. Okay. See, these all observations are very, very important for BLT, if for understanding. Okay. Otherwise, fools are here, which is sitting for attendance. That's not care. Those people are really understanding. It is really interesting. Okay. Now come to another observation. This capital omega equals to 2 by t 10 of a small omega by 2. Okay, then we can write omega capital omega t by 2 equals to 10 of a small omega by 2, or you can say that simple omega by 2 equals to 10 inverse capital omega t by 2. Okay, or finally the small omega equals to 2 10 inverse capital omega t by 2. Now what I will do, I want to plot a graph between the small omega and capital omega. I want to plot a graph between small omega and capital omega. Now, see, if you see this equation, when capital omega equals to 0, when capital omega equals 0, then what is the value of small omega? It is 0, no doubt, because 10 inverse 0 is 0. And when capital omega is infinity, highest value, then what is the value of small omega? What is the value of 10 inverse infinity? Yes, sir. Omega equals to 2 10 inverse infinity. What is the value of 10 inverse infinity?
Pi by 2.
Very good. It's pi by 2. So this is 2 multiply pi by 2, that is equals to pi. So omega equals to pi. Now the plot is very easy. It starts from 0 and it is saturated with the pi. Means let if I take one pi value here, okay, like this. Then if you plot this, how will get the plot? See, the plot is like this. Sorry, the plot is something. Okay, or if you want to more accurately to plot, Okay, or more accurately. Okay, I want to do so more better way. No, say actually it's difficult to plot here. Huh? I'm trying to do this. Now it's okay. Huh? Somewhat. Now this plot is linear or non-linear? Can someone comment? Yes, it's linear or non-linear?
Non-linear, sir.
Obviously non-linear. Okay.
Non-linear.
Non-linear. If you see this plot, we can say it is a non-linear plot. Okay. Now see, from here I will give one important observation. Omega is a 0 to infinity. Means it is a complete this omega line na, means means complete infinite region. Yes or not? So the infinite region in the analog domain, it is a compressor within the 0 to pi region in digital. Yes or not? Huh? Yes or not? Omega equals to 0 to infinity means it's complete infinite region in the analog domain. It is compressed in the region of 0 to pi, because when omega is 0 to infinity, what are you getting? Small omega 0 to pi now. Yes or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Means, we can say that this infinite region is wraps or compressor in the 0 to pi region. Okay, and the curve is non-linear by nature. Okay, this is known as a warping effect. This is known as a warping effect. Okay, this is known as a warping effect. Or see, I will make it very simple. What is happening? See, if you see, if you plot the this is bilinear transformation, but if you see that impulse invariant technique, then if you plot that impulse invariant technique, so it's actually difficult. I will try to plot. Okay, far difficult. Okay, I will try to plot. Like this. Okay, it's linear straight line. Huh? Okay. Actually, it is a straight line. Huh? Since it is difficult to plot here, I'm actually struggling in this board. Still, I will try one more time. No, it's not happening. Like this only I will show you. Okay, now it's okay so much. Huh? Yes or not? This is the linear? Yes or not? If you see this line, this is the linear line. And if you just remember in the impulse invariant technique, this is small omega equals to capital omega multiplied t. Yes or not? Just remember, we did in impulse invariant technique. That is linear by nature. Means what happened? If you see this plot, this is your bilinear transformation. Okay, BLT, and this is for your IIT. Okay, now see, if you see this bilinear transformation for small value of analog frequency, the relationship is linear. Up to this point, it is linear. If it is linear, means the magnitude and phase response, what you will get in the analog domain, same you will get in digital domain. Agree or not? Yes, sir. If it is linear, means the magnitude and phase response what you will get in the analog domain means analog by using analog filter, same you will get in the digital filter. But since it is non-linear by nature, then the magnitude and phase response of the analog filter will not get the same in the digital filter. Okay, will not get same in the digital filter. Getting or not? Okay, so this is the disadvantage. Since for a high value of analog frequency, we are getting the non-linear nature of the characteristics. This is known as a working effect. Why working effect means? See, because of non-linear, it is introducing some noise, yes or not? Because you are not getting the same response. Okay, so you remember this way or that way. Means the analog infinite analog frequency is compressed with finite region, means 0 to pi of digital domain. It is known as warping effect, or you can remember like this. For small value of analog frequency, the relationship between between analog and digital. Okay, I will show you here. What we got? Omega equals to 2 by t, 10 of omega by 2. Okay, here if you plot this, I will show you the plot. See, let the plot is like this. Okay, let the plot is like this. This is a non-linear plot. Okay, clear? Now, up to some extent it is linear. After that it is non-linear. Now, I will show you the responses also so that the people will understand. Now, I will try to show you the response. This is the relationship between capital omega and this small omega, analog to digital. Okay, now I will take like the magnitude response. I will show you. See, this is the magnitude response. I will show to you people. Just see how it is varying in the digital domain. Okay, now I want to plot in the digital domain. This is the analog domain, h of j omega magnitude. Okay. Is h of j omega magnitude. Now see, I will try to show in the digital domain. This is the magnitude response. Okay. Now see, now this point, no problem here. Now just you take this point also. Now where it is coming? Okay, sorry. Okay, now see, I will show you. Let like this. Okay, now if you plot this, then what one point will come here, no doubt the first point here, this point will come. What about the second point? This second point, see, it will come like this. Means now if you plot this by using this 2 point, then the magnitude response almost same. Okay, now take this second one. Second one, if you take like this. Okay, now try to plot the second. Okay, this is the second point. I'm taking the second point like this, and this point also if you take. Okay, now see what will happen. See, in this case all the bits are same, yes or not? This equals to this equals to this, like this. But you just observe what is happening in this case. Now see, if you take third point, like this, like this. Again, same you try to plot in the digital domain. You get one point here. See, you will get another point here. See how the bit is changing, yes or not? Now this is your analog characteristics, and how these characteristics are coming in the digital domain, just you observe. I'm taking for the last. I'm taking for the last. Now we just observe how it is coming. Some point here, and just very like close points. Yeah, I will plot this. Okay. Correct? This is your, we can write h of that omega, j small omega, okay, magnitude. And this is your omega. Now you just observe. If you observe this, this is the magnitude characteristics in the analog domain, this capital omega, and this is the magnitude response in the digital domain. What you observe? For small frequency, you are getting exactly same, yes or not? But when this analog frequency is increasing, then what you are getting? The magnitude response are changing. Yes or not? Huh? Hello?
Yes, sir. Changes.
It's changing. Changing means see, it's become more and more narrow. When it's become more and more narrow means what will happen? We lose some information. Yes or not? Huh? Just imagine if the signal is like this. I will show you. If the signal is something like this, then it will pass. It will pass like this. Then what will happen? See, completely this portion will pass, and every case same portion will pass. Yes or not? Now just think about this digital case. It is this bits are not same. Like this is W1, this is W2, this is W3, this is W4. What you are observing? W1 is greater than W2, greater than W3, greater than W4. The width is decreasing with respect to increasing the value of omega. If width is decreasing, obviously what will happen? The portion of the signal, if the width will decrease, then what will happen? The portion of the signal will pass also. It will reduce, yes or not? It will reduce like this. Same signal, but in every case, it will reduce because the width is decreasing. So what will happen? Then the same magnitude response, what will get in the analog will not get in the same digital case. Yes or not? So we are losing some information because of this non-linearity, or we can say because of this what warping effect. Yes or not? Because of this warping effect. Understand all of you? Clear? Same if you want to do, we can do for the magnitude plot also. Same if I want to do the plot for magnitude, say because of this non-linearity, if you do plot for the magnitude, okay, it is a linear, but when you will do in the case of digital domain, you will get this is a non-linear. Okay, this is a, say my drawings are not accurate because of this writing pad, but this is straight line. Okay, it's linear. If this is a phase of in analog domain, and this is your phase in the digital domain. See, the phase response is linear in case of analog domain. It is a linear in the analog domain, but it is the same phase response is non-linear in digital domain. Non-linear in digital domain. Okay, means see, because of this non-linear characteristics, then what are we getting? We are not getting same response in analog and digital. Agree all of you? Yes or not?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
I shown the both the plot. Okay, so this is happening because of a warping effect. Warping effect means already I said that the relationship between this analog frequency and and digital frequency is linear for small value of analog frequency, and it is non-linear when the value is high. Because of non-linearity, we are getting distortion or noise, or we are missing the information in the digital domain, that is known as a warping effect. This is one way of representation, or you can say that the infinite frequency of this analog domain is warps or complex in the finite region of a digital domain. This is known as a warping effect. And you people understand what is happening in case of warping effect. Yes or not? This is the main problem. Means disadvantage in the bilinear transformation. The biggest disadvantage of bilinear transformation is the warping effect. Okay, this is the disadvantage of bilinear transformation. Now, how to overcome this problem? By using pre-warping effect. Okay, how to overcome means the solution is warping effect. P-warping means, okay, before converting, what we'll do, when you will design the analog filter, see, try to understand, when you will design the analog filter, see, now what you are doing, the specifications, we are taking del P, del S, omega P, omega S, yes or not? We are taking the specifications like this. Now when you design the analog filter, instead of taking this omega P and omega S, if you take omega P equals to 2 by T 10 omega P by 2. Okay, means I am using this relation, omega equals to 2 by T 10 omega by 2. Similarly, if you take omega s equals to 2 by T 10 omega s by 2, try to understand. Instead of taking this omega p and omega s, if you take, means if you change this specification omega p omega s to this 2 by T 10 omega p by 2 and 2 by T 10 omega s by 2, means omega ps, if you take like this 2 by T 10 omega p s by 2, then what will happen? Then we can avoid this warping effect. Yes or not? Clear? This is known as the pre-warping. Pre-warping effect means we are introducing this warping concept itself in the analog domain. Then after analog domain, simple. Then by using this new omega p and omega s, find h of s. After that, replace s equals to 2 by T 1 minus z inverse by 1 plus z inverse. Then this pre-warping and warping will cancel and it will give a linear phase characteristics. Okay, clear? Now, if you, I'll give you one simple problem that an analog transfer function or is given h of s equals to 1 by s plus 1. Then find the digital filter transfer function h of z by using linear transformation for sampling period equals to 1. How to do? It's very simple. H of z equals to h of s for s equals to 2 by T 1 minus z inverse by 1 plus z inverse. Simple replace h of z equals to 1 by, simple replace s by this 2 by T means 1 minus z inverse by 1 plus z inverse plus 1, that is equals to 1 plus z inverse divided by 2 1 minus z inverse plus 1, or h of z equals to what we get 1 plus z inverse divided by 2 plus 1 3 minus 2 z inverse, or it is simple z plus 1 by 3z minus 2. This is your digital filter response. Clear all of you? Yes or not? So what is the process? Process is first find this analog transfer function. Okay, step 1, find this analog transfer function. Then replace s by this value 2 by T 1 minus z inverse by 1 plus z inverse. Then find h of z, step 2. It's just simple 2 steps. Step 2 is h of z equals to h of s for s equals to 2 by T 1 minus z inverse by 1 plus z inverse. But important thing is while finding h of s, take omega ps equals to 2 by T 10 omega ps by 2. If you will not take what you will design, that is completely wrong. Clear all of you? Yes or not?
Yes.
Okay, say this is your bilinear transformation. Okay, so we'll stop here. I will upload this video.